What about making yours sound better?
So let's jump on another example. So in this example, we're having another production, and essentially we're following the same rule of drums, bass, and music. But right here, I added a little bit of an effect, which in this case is a vocal with a lot of effects on it. Essentially, we're gonna look at it into the same category with the music. So again, it's the same programming. So again, it's the same principle with drums, bass, and melody. Although in this example, I am also throwing in a couple of effect vocals. So let's audition the track first. So again, I have my drums, my bass, and my melody. So for the drums, I programmed a little beat, and those are my sounds. In this case, I have two kicks, a snare, and a hi-hat. Those are my two kicks. And I programmed this beat for my first 8 bars. And I'm just playing with the hi-hats on the second 8 bars. Right here, there is a bridge that I took off all the hi-hats, and I'm playing with the kicks. As a bridge part. Also in my drums, I included those claps, which is a sample from a sample pack. And those claps from an 808 pack. And those are all my drums. I also have a little drum fill right here. And the next category is the 808. In this case, I used the 808 machine. I don't remember how it's called. It's the bass module. I used the bass module for the 808 and a lot of processing after it. And this is my pattern. And it's the same throughout the whole song. I just play with the arrangement a little bit. As you can see, it's the first verse. Then the bridge has no bass. Then again, the bass line, no bass, and again bass. And that's all for my bass. For the processing, it was fairly simple. I added a little bit of a low cat. I added another equalizer, tube emulation equalizer, an R bass, and my last filter, which is something odd, but it really helped out for this beat. And the rest is my music, which is fairly simple. I just sampled a voice from the same sample pack that I got the rest of the samples. And the voice is this. I added a little bit of a reverb, and I played this pattern. And the second time that I played it, it's an octave lower. And this is a loop that I got, and I messed around with the pitch. And I added this on the bridge under my melody. I also added this sound, which is a pad sound. And together I have this music for the bridge. And when I go back into the verse, I just take off the rest of the sounds and I let the lead synth sound play, the vocal cut. So if you look at it this way, it's my music, this is the bass, and this is my drums. Then the rest is fills that I use to emphasize on the transition between the bridge and the verse. And I added those sounds. To add a little bit of a twist to that. So the whole thing together. Oh, I forgot to mention, the second time that I play this bass line, I start with a different note. That gives a little bit of a vibe right there.
They wanna be me, can't be like me. I put that rack on you, they ain't gonna twerk for me. I put that stack on you, they ain't gonna twerk.
Yeah, we're not gonna focus on the vocals right now. It's not complete, it's just the idea that we jotted down. Right here, I added another section of the song where I just play with the claps instead of a drop, which is a little bit of unexpected for the beat, and it works. So you expect the beat, but instead of the beat, you get the claps, and it's more of a twerk thing for the club intended. But it's fairly simple. And that's all for that beat as well. Keep in mind, arrangement in terms of eights, and think of it in terms of drums, bass, music, and maybe effects.